all people, including kids, we wake up about every 90 minutes between sleep cycles. And so good quality sleep for kids and for their parents means sort of the kids need to connect the sleep cycles in some way. And so then they are sleeping through the night. When you say baby sleeping through the night, you don't mean that they're literally asleep the entire time. You mean that they are going back to sleep on their own after they wake up. Okay, so sleep training usually involves some kind of crying. Sometimes people worry that this will cause long-term attachments. We have a lot of data on this that suggests that that's not true, including some randomized data, some community-based data. There's a lot of evidence that sleep training is not damaging to children, and also a fair amount of evidence that it improves sleep for parents and that it sort of causes improved sleeps for kids in the sense of allowing them to connect these sleep cycles. Having said all that, I think that means for me, based on the data, that this should be in people's toolbox. That when you think about, like, what am I going to do about the fact that we need to sleep, my kid needs to sleep, sleep is really important, we have to decide this should be one of the things in the toolbox. It's not going to be the thing every parent pulls out of their toolbox. Often find, and this is a little bit of a hard conversation, that people kind of end up in sort of doing one of two things. Like, one of two things is sustainable. One is some kind of sleep training where the kid's going to sleep independently and they're going to sleep for extended periods of time. And the other is co-sleeping. These can work really well for different families. The thing that actually is very hard is, like, I'm not sleeping in the room with my kid, but they're waking up every 90 minutes and I have to go put them back to sleep. That's really unsustainable for almost every family. They tend to find that people kind of come into one of these two options. But that really means that you want to ask yourself, like, which of, where are we trying to go? Like, are we hoping to all be sleeping together in the bed, which can work for a lot of people, or are we hoping to be sleeping independently? And from there to kind of back out, how are we gonna get there?
Is there a right age to start sleep training if that's the choice you make?
Probably not. So not before 4 or 5 months. And at that point, you are not looking for your kid to sleep all the way through the night. So many of these sort of sleep training approaches, there are kind of about learning some independent sleep, then sort of putting together a schedule where you think, okay, at some point they will need to eat in the middle of the night. And then as they get older and they need to eat less, they'll kind of connect more of those things and eventually have a longer sleep.
Right. Got it. Are there any, I guess it's just painful for a parent to go to sleep thinking that their child's crying and takes a second to,
Yeah, I think so. One of the things we see in the data is that sleep training doesn't work well if you are not ready to do it. So the people who are ambivalent about this, who think like, I'm not comfortable with this, this doesn't feel right to me, this isn't going to work so well because consistency is important.
Yeah.
And it's just like